quarter cup of molasses. Before we add a quarter cup of molasses, we added how much brown sugar?
We added 3/4 cup brown sugar.
3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 1 whole stick of softened butter. And there's a room temperature egg. A tip how to make room temperature eggs.
Okay.
If you already know this though, you can just put a egg inside of some warm water and let it sit until it has the gray spots. Really great spots.
Okay, ready for the egg?
And then we'll need 1 room temperature egg. It didn't say that, but we thought it would be better to do it room temperature.
Here, let me take that for me.
Then we stir it up until it's really combined and you can't see the egg yolk anymore. So it's like a really thin mixture because the egg made it, and the thing that made it a really mixture was the molasses. I made it a really thin mixture. And then if you wanted, you could use a hand mixer, but if you use a spatula or if you use a whisk, that would be not so good. So make sure to use a spatula at this point. If you have a lot of spatulas, then I promise you to use the spatula for the scrape out the molasses out of your measuring cup. Then you'll need to use baking soda. How much?
We need 1½ teaspoon.
1½ teaspoon of baking soda.
Here, let me help. Get in there.
Oh.
That might be 1½ right
Yeah,
there.
that looks good. Perfect. And then we need...
And then if you tried it,
Ew.
it would just taste like salt.
No, it doesn't taste like salt.
It would just really taste like salt. And then mix it off until it's combined. I mean, until you don't see me why, until it's really good. And make sure you use your elbow grease if you have any. But if you're not the one who has the elbow grease, then
It
do.
sure seems like a big tablespoon, doesn't it?
Oh, I have a tablespoon, and it should be like a big tablespoon.
This is a tablespoon of ginger.
Then we'll put in 1 tablespoon of ginger. Even though that wasn't really a tablespoon. Now try some ginger. And when you try the ginger, it'll be really spicy. So if you have a drink, this is half of a tablespoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon, if you taste that, it'll just taste like...
Okay, mix
Are you
those
ready for your
together.
close-up?
If you have a close-up, my teeth look like this.
Okay.
Now what do we need? Helper. Oh, Sonia, whatever.
Okay, now we need the flour, which we'll mix gradually.
And which we need 1 cup of flour, right?
And we need 2 cups of flour.
Flour.
Well, no, just sprinkle it in there a little at a time.
Now we're using 2 cups of flour, but this is the 1 part of flour now. So you need to mix this really, really good.
Okay, a little bit more.
When I grow up, I want to be working at Starbucks.
Cool.
When I grow up.
A little bit more.
Why
Yum.
Starbucks?
Starbucks? Oh, speaking of Starbucks, we're going to use caramel sauce as a secret ingredient right here.
Okay, a little bit. You can pour a little bit more. Yeah. Okay.
And then add the whole thing. And have it. Don't get the other thing. And get it everywhere. flour in a big box. Oh my gosh. That was just in one scoop. I got that much flour. Just a little bit more. That's a lot.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
Oh, I just put it in.
Okay. You want to come get on? Okay.
And a lot of super flour on my hand. Then slowly. And the flour, see if the butter kind of looks like peanut butter?
I hate to see you do that fast.
A little bit more.
You were talking about that elbow grease earlier?
Yeah.
This is when you use it. You need it.
Oh,
Perfect.
oopsie.
It's perfect.
And if you want to, at this point, accidentally add too much flour, you can mix up your hand a little bit.
It's still kind of sticky.
But if it's too sticky, just keep on mixing with your hands, though.
Did you already put all the flour? Here, let me put the flour and then you can do that. There. You might have to add a little more flour.
Yeah, even on my hands. I can.
How does it feel?
This. Squishy.
Yeah.
I'm a monster. Rawr. I'm mixing the batter with my hands, and make sure to put baking spray or butter or flour
Here, put your hands
or
like this.
all of them on your hands,
Put your hands like this.
and you won't look like me.
Okay, now rub your hands together and try to get most of that off so we can save it for our cookies.
And if there's any left on your hands, just eat it.
The real reason for using your hands.
Don't wash them off, you eat it. How's it taste? Is it yummy? Let me taste it. Mmm.
Wave to the camera.
Now the dough has to chill.
After you're done refrigerating the dough for a really long time, you have to cut off an inch of the dough, that's what I already did, and roll a ball, and then put it on a cookie sheet. But if yours is not working that well, then put a piece of the dough under the plastic wrap. And then the very last one. If you want to, you can use some cookie cutters, but we took ours out too soon. We had a lot of time to do this. We did not play and do anything after this whole big jumbo ball. And here's what the dough looks like when they're chilled.
Preheat the oven to 350.
Preheat the oven for 350 and put the dough balls inside for
10 to 12 minutes.
10 to 12 minutes. And we'll return with the baked cookies. Here's the freshly baked cookies. 1 and 2. And the freshly baked cookies has a really sentence because they are all images. If you want to see more videos like this, then you want to type in TM